सुना? लेकिन कोई जेब कतरा हो जाए, आपकी पिक पॉकेटिंग हो जाए, चेन स्नैचिंग हो जाए, कितनी जल्दी आप चेन्स वापस मांगते हो, कितनी जल्दी आप पर्स वापस मांगते हो। लेकिन जब हजारों करोड़ों का हो गया, कौन मांगता है वो पैसा? सो व्हाट आर वी टॉकिंग अबाउट? मूंगफली। सो वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ policing for peanuts, policing for pickpocketers. But where is policing for plunderers? Those who grab this money and also divert the money elsewhere. So that बाहर जाके जब उनके बच्चे जाए, फैमिली जाए, खूब अयाश करें, दुनिया भर में बिजनेस क्लास नहीं, फर्स्ट क्लास में घूमें, बंगलोज में रहें, प्राइवेट जेट्स में घूमें, because all that money spent like that. पैसा किसका है? ये पैसा किसका है वो मैं बाद में आती हूं. सो दिस इज आवर सिस्टम. आई वांटेड यू टू बी अवेयर व्हाई जन लोकपाल बिल. जन लोकपाल बिल इज टू क्रिएट अ fill in a vacuum of infrastructure, a system, put a system in place which doesn't exist. System doesn't exist. I've told you about the CVC, I've told you about the CBI, I've told you about the vigilance departments. So ऊपर क्यों करप्शन बढ़ी हमारे देश में? इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स तो आए, लेकिन साथ साथ रेगुलेटरी सिस्टम्स इन प्लेस नहीं आए, जिसलिए वो जो घोटाले हैं वो थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोड़ पे मल्टीप्लाई कर गए. और वो थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोड़ संभाले कैसे? और वो थाउजेंड्स ऑफ करोड़ वेंट इनटू द हैंड्स व्हिच इंक्रीज्ड इलेक्शंस, which increased money to be spendable money. So it became a nexus between the corporate houses and the politicians. It was money, spare money, which brought. So corporates also become politicians, and politicians also became corporates. The research is establishing. Now let me show you what I'm just not saying generally. The research of Hindustan Times published C4 survey says 1 out of 2 Indian paid a bribe for birth certificate. 1 out of 3 for school admission. 2 out of 3 for traffic. Indians, 2 out of 3 for driving license. 1 out of 8 for job posting. 1 out of 5 for extension of homes. 1 out of 4 for encroachment. 2 out of 3 to avoid taxes or tax to the tax officers. 1 out of 4 for factory pollution. This was a C4 survey. Let me show you another one. This was the range of corruption. Give you another range. What are the departments according to the survey most corrupt? According to People's Survey, Income Tax, Sales Department 20%. These have been considered to be the most corrupt. Motor Vehicle Department 19%. Say, Police 15%, Traffic Police 14%, Building Department 27%. Now let's look at the perception, further perception. Who are the perpetrators of this corruption? Politicians 66%, bureaucrats 15%, industrialists 4%, common man 2%, low-level government employees 7%, policemen 6%. Which is the most corrupt state? Uttar Pradesh 27%. झारखंड 21%. याद है मधु कोडे इज इन जेल? वो झारखंड के चीफ मिनिस्टर थे. Followed by Karnataka, followed by Bihar. Gujarat doesn't come in the first 7 states. According to this survey, एक और survey करा लो तो पता नहीं. Now let's look at कि अगर ये corruption नहीं होती तो क्या होता? सिस्टम में जन लोकपाल पे एक प्रोविजंस पर आती हूं. पहले मैं बताऊं कि ये प्रॉब्लम्स ये क्यों बढ़ी. लुक एट द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ करप्शन. व्हाट डज करप्शन डू टू अस एज अ कंट्री? इट स्टॉल्स डेवलपमेंट बिकॉज यू कैन नॉट स्पेंड ब्लैक मनी इनटू डेवलपमेंट. यू हैव टू हाइड दैट मनी, स्पेंड दैट मनी, वेस्ट दैट मनी, underwrite that money, but it doesn't lead to that kind of over the board development. It stalls development because there's no money in the government kitty. After all, government के पास पैसा नहीं है, पैसा private हाथों में होगा, but it's not in the state exchequer for infrastructure. It undermines social progress. Why? Why does it undermine social progress? Because that much money is not available for schools. That much money is not available for institutions, infrastructure, metro rails, roads, cleaning up the rivers, pension schemes, women's vocational training centers. So there's any number of things which stalls progress, social progress. It undercuts confidence of citizens. जैसे आपको पता ही नहीं तो देना ही है, मैं कहाँ जाऊँ, तो it undermines my own confidence कि मैं कुछ दे के आया जो मुझे मालूम था गलत है, लेकिन मैं क्या करता. It undermines the confidence of the citizens. It impedes good governance. Good governance का तो मतलब ही नहीं है जिसमें rampant corruption. It erodes the rule of law. Rule of law है ही नहीं इसमें. Distorts competitive conditions. Two parties cannot compete equally because one pays, the other doesn't pay. The person with a bad quality will get it. It undercuts competition, particularly in business transactions. It discourages domestic and foreign investment. The foreign direct investment in the last few years have shown a fall. People have no more confidence, less confidence in foreign direct investment in view of the rampant corruption. And today the GDP has also shown a fall. आज अगर अभी भी television देख के आए हो, even our GDP has come down from 8 plus something to 6 plus something, and even touching less. So even the GDP, which means less money available for infrastructural growth, fosters a black market economy and raises new security threats. आपका पैसा नहीं है to raise your security forces. Now, let me tell you, if we weren't corrupt, what would have happened? According to the data, if we were not corrupt all these years, how would this country have benefited? It would have had 2.4 primary health centers built, 3 per village. We would have had the money. It would have been at the rate of 30 lakhs each. We would have had money. That means each village could have had 3 primary health care centers. We could have built 24.1 lakh Kendriya Vidyalayas at the rate of 3.02 crores each for classes of sections of 6 to 12. We don't have the money. We let this money go. We would have had so many more Kendriya Vidyalayas. और अभी आप गिन सकते हो कितने हैं. We would have built 14.6 crore low-cost housing at the rate of 5 lakh per unit. We could have set up 2,703 coal-based power plants of 600 megawatt each at the rate of 2,700 crore each. Because the money which has been lost, according to us, is 73 lakh crores. उसके साथ 13 zero जोड़ो. We could have had 14.6 lakh kilometers of 2-lane highways. That is total road around Indian perimeter 97 times. We would have had many more roads. We could have cleaned up 50 major rivers for the next 151 years at the rate of 1,200 crores a river every year. We could have launched 90 kind of Narega schemes, which we have only one, each worth 81,111 crores. And today one Narega scheme still reaches you 1/3 of the year. Whereas if we were not corrupt and all this money was back home in India, we would have had 90 Narega schemes alongside. We could have had 121 more loan waiver schemes, all of them worth 60,000 crores. That means farmer suicides may not have happened at all. We could have given at the rate of 56,000 to every Indian, or 1.82 lakhs to 40 crores of Indian livings under BPL. That means every poor person under BPL could have earned an annual pension of 56,000 rupees. That means India would not have been poor. The scam money is 27% more than in the GDP of 53 lakh crores. And most of all, India could have wiped out its debts. We would have been debt-free today. Who says India would have been poor? India would have been the second largest economy in the world. So friends, let me bring you to, this is the extent. It is this magnitude when the team got to grapple with, particularly when the Commonwealth Games came and the idea.